The winter season comes to a close with the state basketball tournament, and Baltimore County was well represented. Highlights next on High School Sports Scene. Hi and welcome to this edition of High School Sports Scene. I'm Sydney Callahan. The state basketball tournament featured several teams from Baltimore County. We start our coverage on the boys' side with Milford Mill looking to defend its title.
The stage was set for the 3A North Regional Final. The gymnasium was packed and the fans were ready as the Patterson Clippers took on the top-ranked Milford Mill Millers. The Clippers got out to a fast start with a nice move by Devin Hebron, who makes his way to the cup for an easy two. Kyle Thomas tries to make a pass, but Devin Hebron is there for the steal and makes his way to the basket for an easy two, which put the Clippers ahead 4-0. But Milford came right back with a nice move and a fadeaway jumper by Isaiah Miles that hits nothing but nylon. Akil Carr gets into the act as he drives to the basket, splits two defenders, and lays it in. Then Isaiah Miles receives a pass from Chase Kamir and knocks down a three, which brings the crowd to its feet. But Mr. Showtime himself will not be outdone as he dribbles past a defender and knocks down a three of his own. Chase Kamir receives a pass and dials up long distance for a three, with the halftime score knotted up at 36. The Millers came out hot in the third quarter with a layup by Tyson Smith and a dunk by Kyle Thomas, which put the Millers ahead by 9. Clippers never got rattled. They were able to cut the deficit by easy jump shots and a three-pointer by Akil Carr with a game-high 31 points. Clippers took the lead late in the fourth quarter. With the time running down, Bruce Watkins Jr., who sparked the Millers, makes a nice move and cut the lead to 2 points. Quentin Brooks made one of his 2 free throws, which gave the Millers a chance. Millers passed the ball in. Bruce Watkins brings the ball up the court, gets double-teamed, passes to Devontae Williams, who shoots a three, but it didn't drop in for the Millers. What an exciting game and a tough loss for the Millers. The Patterson Clippers, they go on and become the 3A North State champs.
On the girls' side, 2 county teams met with a regional championship at stake.
The girls 1A North Regional Basketball Championship matched 2nd seed Newtown with the 1 seed Western Tech at the Wolverines' home court. Jasmine Cole got the Titans on the board first, following up on a missed shot. Ate Ade responded with a 3 for the Wolverines, and then worked inside for another 2. Sydney Clapton added a 3-pointer of her own. Jade Duncan pounded the offensive boards hard for the Wolverines. And Sydney Clapton hit another 3-pointer as Western Tech built a 14-5 lead at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, Jenna Tucker hit a pair of 3-pointers and got help from freshman Sydney Hines on the offensive boards as the Titans began to find the net. The Wolverines, however, kept pace with the Titans, getting hard work inside from Deja Coles to push their advantage to 10 at the half. The Titans were determined as they took the floor for the second half. Tucker found the net for 2 and followed up her own shot for another score inside. Tiana Davis knocked down a 3. And Tucker drove for 2 more as the Titans whittled their deficit to 2 points at the end of the third. The Wolverines, though, did not wilt under the pressure. Tashay Montgomery made a pair of clutch free throws. Jade Duncan dropped in a basket. Ata Ade put back a rebound. And with a 3-point lead, freshman Deja Dennis took an outlet pass, drove to the hoop, was fouled, and added the free throw to push the score to the final margin of 42-36 as the Wolverines ran out the clock to secure their first regional championship.
Western Tech's win earned them a berth in the state semifinal.
After winning the 1A North region, Western Tech's girls took the court at UMBC's RAC Arena to face Allegheny County's Fort Hill Sentinels. Tashay Montgomery got the Wolverines started with a drive down the lane for 2. Shortly after, Montgomery stole the ball and took it the distance for the bucket. Fellow guard Sydney Clopton added a baseline drive that netted 2 points. Ata Ade hit a short jumper for Western Tech. Fort Hill, however, kept the game close as the first quarter ended with the Wolverines up 11-8. Early in the second, Montgomery drives the lane but kicks the ball out to Clopton, who drains the 3. With both Montgomery and Clopton having success driving the lane, the Wolverines began to work the ball inside as Ata Ade scored on consecutive possessions. And Jade Duncan hit a short jumper as Western Tech built a 10-point lead at the half. In the third quarter, Jade Duncan takes a pass inside, makes a nice move, and drops it in for 2. Then Montgomery drives for 2 more, and as Fort Hill quickly brings the ball back up, Duncan comes through with a big block. Fort Hill kept pace with the Wolverines, matching them score for score through the third, and as the period ended, Western Tech maintained a 10-point margin. In the final quarter, Sydney Clopton drives, kicks it to Deja Coles, who works the baseline in for a score. And Clopton later drives for a basket of her own. However, Fort Hill mounted a strong comeback, getting as close as 4 points down before the Wolverines were able to breathe a sigh of relief as time expired and they preserved a 54-50 win and a spot in the 1A final.
In the final, the Wolverines came up short against defending champion Dunbar. In the girls' 2A semifinals, Owings Mills made its first appearance since 1984.
The Owings Mills girls basketball team's 2A North Regional Championship earned a berth in the state semifinals and a date at UMBC with Century of Carroll County. Sophomore guard Brianna Bull gave the Eagles their first points of the game, drilling a 3-pointer early in the first quarter. Later in the quarter, freshman guard Jordan Gare hit a short jumper for the Eagles. However, Century's defense forced several turnovers, which they converted to points, as the Knights built a 12-6 lead at the end of one quarter. In the second, Brianna Bull added to the Eagles' score with a drive from the wing. Later, Dira Parker worked the board on the offensive end for another Eagles score. Those would be Owings Mill's only points of the second quarter, as Century stretched their lead to 27-10 at the half. Facing a significant deficit, the Eagles continued to play hard. Senior Danielle McIntosh worked the offensive board for a basket, and later added 2 more on a fast break. Brianna Bull added a steal, which she took all the way for the layup. And Bailey Huttenberger came off the bench to hit a jumper. But on this night, Century proved stronger as the Knights took a 47-20 win.
Congratulations to all the county teams, including the Newtown boys who made it to the 1A final. Now, let's meet this month's outstanding female student athlete. Here's Colin Parts with the story.
Essence Fredericks, the point guard of the Carver girls varsity basketball team, has a big role to play on her team.
We lost 9 seniors in the same year, and the young lady that we had that was going to play a point guard, she didn't come back. So that left Essence as the only senior on the team, so I had to move her from a forward position to a guard position of setting up the plays and just actually making the offense run.
I'm the only senior, so I have years under my belt playing varsity basketball, so I, give them some advice and insight about what to do and what not to do, and, certain things about the game that they may not know.
Essence is a strong leader and a very likable one. Her teammates clearly enjoy being with her on the team.
A lot of our players think that they can't do something, and she encourages them that they can do it and tells them, it's okay if you make a mistake.
In practice, I told them you have to be more competitive with each other. You can't be nice and say sorry for hitting each other. Like, basketball's not a nice game. So for them, I had to kind of teach them how to be more aggressive.
Essence is a person that leads by example. She's a quiet leader, but she never asks anyone to do anything that she's not willing to do herself.
While she likes to have fun beforehand, once the game begins, Essence is focused on the court.
I don't have to call timeout for Essence to make an adjustment. She just does it, and she makes sure the rest of them know it. We're going into another defense, or we're run cutter. She just makes a decision. She adapts really quickly.
It's competitive. I'm a very competitive person, so I like the fact that you can go toe-to-toe with somebody, and it's unpredictable. I also like that about basketball.
And once she has decided to go toe-to-toe with someone, Essence will continue to try her hardest and keep after it until the game ends.
I still see myself as more that scrappy, defensive, in-your-face, getting on your nerves type of player when I play.
Essence isn't just driven in games, though. Every day in practice, she tries her hardest and does the best she can and is willing to try anything.
Anything you asked her to do, she would just do it without question. And so that, for me, that's the coach's dream.
Essence has learned to balance the responsibilities of school and sports.
I've learned to balance academics with sports and kind of scheduling time between practice and when I get home to do homework, or if I have a study hall, I make sure to get as much homework as I can done in the study hall so that I'm not up till 12 o'clock every night doing homework.
Academically, she's a 4.0. She maintains her grades no matter what sport she's in. She takes care of herself, she eats right, she does everything that she needs to do to be a well-rounded person.
As she prepares to move on to another chapter in her life, Essence is grateful to have been involved with high school sports.
I've been able to meet a lot of other people that I may not have met outside of sports, especially because as a senior, you don't really get to meet underclassmen as much. And being on an athletic team, you get to meet people from all primes, all grades, all walks of life, and it's kind of cool.
Essence will leave her younger teammates with valuable advice.
If you want something, go for it. Sports is all about going after what you want, so in athletics, you can't give half. You have to give 100% all the time.
We wish Essence and the team the best of luck during the rest of their season. For High School Sports Scene, I'm Colin Parts.
Congratulations to Essence. To honor her selection as this month's Outstanding Female Student Athlete, she will receive an award provided by Allegram Incorporated in Timonium. Coming up next is Randy Dace with Coach's Corner. We'll be back after spring break with another edition of High School Sports Scene. We hope you'll join us then. Until then, I'm Sydney Callahan. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Randy Dace and welcome to Coach's Corner. My guests today are Matt Green, a junior at Perry Hall High School, who was a 3A, 4A, 220-pound Maryland State champion in wrestling, and Zeke Salvo, who's a sophomore at Perry Hall High School, who's a 3A, 4A, 106-pound Maryland State champion in wrestling too. Gentlemen, 2 state champions on stage here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Matt, what was it like when the final whistle blew and they said, that's it, you win?
It felt amazing. I was just like, because I was losing in the first, second period of the match. I was like 90% sure. I was like, I'm gonna lose.
Well, let's talk about that. There's 3 periods, right?
Yes.
And during the second period, what was the score?
Well, the score of the second period, going into it, it was 0-0.
0-0.
It was his choice. He chose bottom, and I guess I wasn't feeling confident. And I went for a spiral ride, and I dropped a leg in. And you don't see it ever at a heavier weight, but I tried to go for a spladle.
What's a spladle?
Well,
can you make it brief?
No.
Okay. All right, so you went for spladle. I got you.
Went
Good.
for the spladle, and as we went to roll, he was super strong. He just kind of kicked out of it and reversed me, and I got 2. And I escaped with 1 point, and I guess my knee buckled on me or something, because I went for a shot and he just spun around and got another 2 on me. And right there it was 4-1. And there was about 20-25 seconds left in the second period. And at the time it was 4-1, so I got an escape. And I was going at him like really hard. And luckily I got the 2. And I guess you could say I was stalling for the last couple of seconds, just holding on to the legs. I was able to tie it up to 4-4. It was my choice in the third period, and I chose bottom. And I just kind of exploded, just didn't stop moving. Just 5-4. You know, wrestled the whole match out. That's how it ended. And at the end, I was, me and my brother Carl, we were both crying. We were so happy. And it's I don't know.
There's nothing better. And the thing about that championship that you won is you can't buy it. You can only earn it, true?
Yes.
And I think that's what's so satisfying. That's outstanding. Zeke, tell us a little about your championship match. A little bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, same thing went. At the end of the first period, it was also 0-0. I chose bottom. The match started the scoring when he got called for a locked hands call. But then after that, I was able to get away from him and reverse him for 2 points. So at the end of the first period, at the end of the second period, it was 3-0. And then he chose bottom, and I was just able to turn him a few times to extend my lead to 8-0. So.
And you ran away from him, huh?
Yeah.
What was that feeling like, Zeke?
It was great. I ended the match, on top of him, getting some back points. So, couldn't end better.
No, it couldn't. So you're a sophomore, you're a junior, and so I guess there's going to be a little bit of expectation of some state titles coming for you. 2 more years, Zeke, and for you, Matt, next year?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you guys described the match perfectly, but let's go back in time. In Baltimore County, we have what we call the county championship, right? And Matt, in the 220 pounds, what place did you place in?
First.
First. Zeke?
Yeah, I also got first.
And you're 106. Is that the lightest weight in Baltimore County in the state?
Yep.
Have you ever, how much do you actually weigh?
About like 110 pounds.
Okay. Is that wet?
No.
Just kidding. Okay, then from the counties you go to the regionals, and you're in the 4A, 3A region, which is the largest schools in the region. And what place did you come in, Matt?
First.
Zeke?
Second.
Second? What happened, Zeke?
Just, I don't know, just wrestled a long time opponent, just didn't really wrestle my match, and sort of got tied up on a few things and ended up losing 4-2.
Well, okay, 4-2. So then from the region you go to the state. And Matt, how many matches do you have to win to become state champion?
4.
And you said your last 2, the semis and the finals, were the most difficult?
Yes.
Was it real simple, those first 2 matches?
First 2, yeah. They didn't get past the first minute and a half.
Were you familiar with your opponent in the state championship match?
No, not at all.
Where was he from? Do you remember where he's from?
He was from Illinois Roosevelt High School.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing I knew about him was they had him ranked ahead of me in the state. They had me 4th, and they had him 2nd or 3rd, I believe.
Mm. Zeke, did you, in the championship, did you know your opponent at all, or this is the first time ever?
No, I didn't really recognize him. He sort of came out of nowhere with a few upsets and just made it to the finals. He was from Thomas Stone.
Okay, from down in southern Maryland.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, who's the name of your coach of the wrestling
Jake
team?
Roach.
And tell us a little about Coach Roach, because I know that you've spent a lot of time, you know, wrestling your whole life, but it sounds like Coach did a pretty good job with you guys this year.
He's just a real fun and supportive guy. I remember at the beginning of the year, I was academically ineligible to wrestle, so I missed almost half this season. And he was also an assistant football coach. You know, every day during practice and before and after game, he would remind me, you know, keep your head up, work hard, get your grades up. You're going to be on the mat sooner or later. And, you know, he gave me a lot of reason to want to work harder in school, you know, do better, get the good grades, and, you know, wrestle. But, you know, he took us bowling on Monday, the week before states. Just, you know, relax, you know, stop worrying about everything. And, you know, I guess it worked for me and Zeke. We did pretty good.
It's good strategy on the coach's part. Zeke, your dad is assistant coach, right, on the wrestling team. Tell us about Coach Roach himself.
Well, Coach Roach, I mean, I work out with him a lot of times at practice. He's a real intense guy, powerful, just loves to get a good workout in. You know, he loves the feeling. Just always tries to push himself, and a good role model.
I always ask wrestlers this question. When you're on that mat, and it was down at Cole Fieldhouse at the University of Maryland, and the whole world's looking at you, what are you thinking about? Are you listening to everybody yelling at you, shoot it, sit out, or are you just totally focused on that match?
I was nothing else, couldn't hear anything. It was just me and my opponent. The only time I was like really paid attention to the coaches was either when we had went out of bounds and we were walking back in, or in between periods. And they were like, you got to want it, you got to work, you got to take your shots, make it your match. But aside from that, it's just me and the other kid. You might hear some noise in the background, but you can't listen. You just got to focus.
Are you a listener, Zeke?
Nah, you can. I mean, almost all wrestlers, you're just so focused on your match, you won't hear anything.
Are you superstitious before any of your matches? Any little routines that you follow, Zeke?
Nah, I just sort of like to relax a little bit, get a proper stretch in. You know, I know that if I wrestle my match, that I'm hard to beat. So.
Mm-hmm. Matt?
I am a little bit.
I can see the smile. What's the routine?
The ankle bracelets we wear before the match.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't get the green one, I'm doubting myself from the beginning.
That's funny. So a little confidence factor, huh?
Yes.
What do you learn from the sport of wrestling, Matt?
It just teaches me how to rely on myself, you know, and it's not like football or soccer where you can just blame somebody else. It's you out there. If you lose, you know, it's your fault. You got to want it bad enough. You can't say, man, I hope he makes this break and scores a touchdown. You're the one who's got to make the big move. You got to make the play. You know, it's all you out there, and it feels great.
Now, both of you wrestle year-round. essentially. Your dad's a wrestling coach. You said you started when you were 6 years old wrestling. How old were you, Zeke?
Yeah, about like around 6 to 8 years old.
And Zeke, what brought you to the sport?
Pretty much my dad. I mean, I was just raised on wrestling, and at first I didn't really like it, but then it just struck, you know, my competitive edge. I couldn't live without it.
Well, gentlemen, your accomplishment is outstanding. To win the state championship in wrestling in the 4A, 2A, I should say 3A, 4A in the state of Maryland is just, you know, you will savor that for the rest of your life. And I want to congratulate you, Matt, and good luck next year. What do they call that, repeat, coach? Is that what they say, repeat?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's called repeat. And Zeke, congratulations to you. What a great accomplishment as a sophomore, and we wish you luck for next year, too, in wrestling.
Thanks.
For High School Sports Scene, I'm Randy Dace. Thanks for watching. See you next time.